This is John Lorky talking to you from Jack Donaldson Stadium in Grand Forks, British Columbia. The Goldpanners are just underway here in the top of the first, taking on the Burnaby Bulldogs. Logan Drummond is on the mound, and he's gotten off to a pretty good start here. Got the first hitter, Jack Van Gorkum, for the Bulldogs to ground out to third base, where the Goldpanners have a new player there. Trying to get my wits about me here, just getting started with the connectivity issues and all those kind of things. It's a little bit of a journey here. It looks like Panners have Scally playing third base. Strikeout now from Logan Drummond, and there's 2 outs in the top of the first. Drummond throws a breaking ball to the 3-hitter, Keegan Lott, and he takes that for a strike. So Drummond looks very good to start this. Just underway here, 2 out, top of the first. Goldpanners the home team. Drummond throws again, and that's right down the pipe for a strike, and it's 0-2. Goldpanners in the first game of this tournament that they've been to for the last 3 years now. Drummond throws again. It's a fastball swung and on and missed, and it's a terrific first inning for Logan Drummond. We've got a ground ball to third and 2 strikeouts, and we have completed just a half inning here. Burnaby doesn't score. Goldpanners coming to bat. Back at you here from Grand Forks. John Lorky coming with you, filling in from Garo Von Dane, who will be coming in, if all goes well, tomorrow for the broadcast and then on as we make our way through this tournament. Interestingly enough, the Seattle Studs have already lost twice. Got beat just before this one by the Honkers. So the first pitch from Mark Lazecki, who is starting for the Bulldogs, is taken way outside for ball 1. Carl Peters starting off, playing center field for the Goldpanners here in the bottom of the first. Sidewinder Lazecki throws ball that looks outside, and I got a pretty good angle on that, but it's called a strike, and it's 1-1. Peters will be followed by Jackson Frankovich and Logan Redeman. Next pitch from Lazecki is a slow curve that stays low, and it's 2-1. Peters on the year doing very well. It's a short year so far. Goldpanners 12-3 coming into this. Peters hitting .340, third on the team. Next pitch is fouled back to the screen, and it's 2-2. So Peters, Frankovich, and Redeman will try and get things going here in the bottom of the first for the Goldpanners. Seattle Blackfins, the Goldpanners' next opponent up in Fairbanks, has already won twice in this tournament. Very slow curve is just fouled off by Peters. So Lazecki is a side armor, and he can throw slow and even slower. So the Goldpanners have really got their work cut out to stay back and not get out in front. Next pitch is outside, but Peters goes after it and fouls it off again. It stays 2-2. Then the Goldpanners have Donovan Ratfield will bat fourth and play first today. Logan Drummond is pitching, but he's also batting fifth. And then a couple of the newcomers continue to make out the lineup as Peters fouls off another one. Kobe Williams, the third baseman I mentioned in the top of the first, just here from Orange Coast College, as is left fielder Evan Scally. Next pitch is taken low, and it's ball 3. So quite a few pitches that Carl Peters is seeing here, and that helps the entire team out to see the arsenal that Lezecki has. Full count, first hitter for the Panners, bottom of the first. Next pitch stays inside, and Peters draws a walk. So the Panners have the leadoff base runner on here in the bottom of the first inning, and that'll bring on Jackson Frankovich, today's catcher for the Panners. Panners wearing their new camo jerseys that they broke out for the Midnight Sun game a week ago. Peters with a pretty good lead at first. Frankovich bats from the left-hand side. Lezecki comes set and throws a slow pitch that just misses inside, and it's ball 1. Jack Gonzalez coaching down at first for the Panners. Carlos Gonzalez coaching at third. Frankovich waits. Peters with his lead. Next pitch is inside, and it hits Frankovich right in the right thigh. He didn't do anything to get out of the way of it because the ball wasn't thrown very hard, so there really wasn't any danger in letting it hit him. So Peters heads down to second base. Frankovich takes off for first. Goldpanners have an early rally going on here, and that brings up switch hitting second baseman Logan Redmond. Redmond came up to the Goldpanners primarily as a pitcher this summer and let us know out of high school. He's hitting .3 for the Panners, and he just graduated high school in Southern California. He's going to be going to University of San Diego. But he has been a pleasant surprise filling in for Jeffrey Ray, who got hurt in the first game. Redmond's played second base ever since and done very well. Peters with a big lead at second. Ball is hit a ton to right field. That's going to get over the right fielder's head and up against the wall. Peters will score. Frankovich goes into third. Redmond stays at second with a double that one hops the right field fence, and the Panners have a 1-0 lead. He really hit that when the right fielder just went back and started running. He had no chance on it as Redmond really hit it well. Logan has 2 home runs for the Panners, or 1 home run rather, for the Panners so far this summer. Drives in a run to share the team lead now with Tyler Stone. So 1-0, Peters in on the double. Frankovich down at third. And now first baseman Donovan Ratfield steps in. Slow curve, catches the inside corner for strike 1. Beautiful 76 degrees here in Grand Forks. A little cloudy, but it's a very nice night for baseball. Next pitch is hit in the air to short center field. I don't know if Frankovich can try to score on this. He's coming in. The throw comes to the plate, and it's cut off out near second base. Ratfield hits the ball to center field for the sac fly. Frankovich scores, and it's 2-0. Goldpanners. Redmond stayed at second. That'll bring up the pitcher for the Goldpanners, who in a sense is acting as the DH, Logan Drummond. Redmond at second with 1 out. Panners up 2-0 here in the bottom of the first in their first game here in the what's referred to here as the GFI. First pitch to Drummond is it's hard to call it a changeup because everything out of Lezecki's hand is slow. So the Panners have a lesson to stay back today, and so far they've done a good job of that. So 0-1 count on Drummond. Newcomer Williams on deck. Lezecki with a reverse leg kick move tries to keep Redmond close at second base. Panners should be able to run on Lezecki because his pitches to the plate are slow. And combine that with a slow delivery. The next pitch is looped into left field, and that's going to get in front of the left fielder. Redmond's going to have to hurry to get to third because he had to hold up initially. The throw comes into the infield, gets away, but nobody's going anywhere. So Drummond on at first with another base hit for the Goldpanners, their second of the inning. Redmond on at third. Panners have runners at the corners with one out for newcomer Kobe Williams out of Orange Coast College. Let's see what Kobe can do here. Where's number 31? First pitch catches the outside corner for a strike. 0-1. Drummond at first. Not too speedy. I don't think he has a stolen base yet on the summer. He doesn't. But the Panners might try to get him in motion. Next pitch is way outside. It's 1-1. Redmond down at third. Panners hope to bring him in and get a third run in this inning. Williams has had quite a season at Orange Coast. The two newcomers to the Goldpanners, Scally and Williams, are both from Orange Coast College, and they were the top two hitters on the team. One an outfielder, Scally, and Williams an infielder. Panners are happy to have them. 2-1 count. Next pitch is lined into left field. The left fielder comes on, makes the catch. It's a nice catch. Redmond will be able to get home, though. He does a good job of tagging up, even though that ball was a low line drive over the shortstop's head. But it was hit so hard that it stayed up for the left fielder to come in and make the play. Got to get my score sheet in order. We're just getting underway here. Panners have their third one in as Simmons makes the catch in left field. Drummond stayed at third, or at first rather. I'm a mess so far. We'll get better. 3-0 Panners, now 2 out. First pitch to Williams is fouled back, or Scally rather, I'm sorry. Scally up at the plate. Now Williams. Panners have 2 sacrifice flies in this inning with a 3-0 lead. Scally 0-1, Drummond still at first, 2 down. The next pitch is way inside again, and that hits Scally as well. So 2 hit batsmen in the inning and a walk. Combined with 2 hits and a couple sac flies, the Panners can try and get more here now. Scally heads down to first. And that'll bring up Eric Smelko, Goldpanners right fielder today. He's played a lot of left field so far this summer, but with Scally now on the team, Smelko moves to right field. 2 on, 2 out, 3 runs in, bottom of the first. Goldpanners putting up a nice rally. Let's see if they can keep it going. Smelko takes the first pitch and lines it foul down the right field line. He's way out in front, and that's, again, as we've talked about, I know it's early here, but they just have to keep telling themselves to stay back. So Smelko hitting 300 on the short summer, driven in 9 runs. He'd like to add 1 or 2 more right here. Lazecki out in front of him, 1 strike. 8th hitter of the inning for the Panners. Next pitch is a changeup, I guess you could say, and Smelko out in front of that one as well, and it's 0-2. Barango is on deck. 0-2 count. Drummond and Scally take their leads. Next pitch is grounded to the first baseman. It's a nice stop, almost got by him, but he cuts it off. That's Lott, and he beats Smelko to the bag. And the Goldpanners are finished here, but they put up 3 runs on 2 hits. There were no Bulldog errors, 2 runners left on base. We've completed 1. Goldpanners out in front of Burnaby, 3-0. Back at you here from Donaldson Park in Grand Forks. Logan Drummond on the mound for the Panners after a 1-2-3 inning. He'll face the 4, 5, and 6 spots of the Bulldogs order. Burnaby beat the Seattle Studs last night 3-0. Got an incredible pitching performance from their starter, who went the complete game, struck out 16, only gave up about 3 hits to the Studs. It was quite a performance. First pitch from Drummond to Newman is taken low and outside, ball 1. Next pitch is a fastball that's hit in the air to left field. Hit pretty good. Williams goes back, and that ball is off the wall. That was a rocket. He had no chance to get back there, or Scally rather. I keep getting the two newcomers confused. So quite a shot from center fielder Logan Newman on the second pitch here at the top of the second inning, up halfway up the left field wall. Scally retrieves it. By the time he does, Newman's in at second base with a stand-up double on a ball that I thought may have got out of here. So that'll bring up the left fielder, Surya Viswanathan. Hope I'm not butchering that name too bad. Drummond looks at second and comes home with a fastball that's high, ball 1. So Burnaby trailing 3-0 here, top of the second, has the leadoff man on at second base. Drummond with Williams, Barango, Redeman, and Ratfield behind him on the infield. Throws again. It's a fastball up high, swung on and missed. It's 1-1. Williams playing behind the bag at third. The runner at second base. Not any kind of a bunt situation here, especially with the 5-hitter and a man at second base. Drummond's next pitch is a fastball on the inside corner. Viswanathan swings right through it, and it's 1-2. Drummond challenging the hitters very well here early on. He's coming right after them. Last 2 pitches, fastballs that the Bulldogs 5-hitter has swung right through. Checks the runner at second. Another fastball is fouled back, and it stays 1-2. Frankovich doing the catching in the first game here today. Scally, Peters, and Smelko. Goldpanners outfield from left to right. Sun coming through really well right now. It's a beautiful evening for baseball. Drummond comes set again, looks at the runner, throws a changeup that just gets a piece of it. It was Viswanathan, and it was just got a piece of it. It was just about a couple inches outside. He was out in front of it, but just got enough of it to stay alive. Count stays 1-2. It's a really nice pitch from Drummond. Frankovich gives him the sign. Don't think Lott's going anywhere at second. The next pitch is another high fastball that's fouled back. Stays 1-2. So Viswanathan's staying alive. Catcher Simmons is on deck, followed by the right fielder, Jared Alleman. Drummond checks Lott at second again. Throws another changeup that's slowing inside. It's even at 2. Goldpanners will play the Everett Merchants tomorrow afternoon here at 4, which should be 3 o'clock there. This game was late getting started because the game, 2 games before this one, ran so long. 2-2 pitches, a fastball right on the outside corner, strike 3. Nice pitch from Drummond. He'd been inside. He'd been up with a fastball. He'd been away with a changeup. It was the first time he'd thrown a fastball at the knees away, and it was just a great assortment of pitches right there, and caught Viswanathan looking. Drummond's 3rd strikeout already. Now 1 out here in the top of the second. Brings up catcher Simons. I don't have a first name for him because I didn't see him on the roster. Next pitch is the first pitch that looked like a strike, but not called one. Frankovich had a little trouble with that one, so sometimes when a catcher doesn't catch it just right, the umpire takes it out on the pitcher, and that could look like what happened there, so it's 1-0. Drummond checks the runner, a fastball right there for a strike, even at 1-1. Yeah, I just don't have this player on the roster, so it must be a late addition. There's a lot of 90s on the roster for Burnaby, which the public address guy told me, is when they don't know what the number is. Next pitch is grounded fair down the left field line. Williams can't get to it. That'll easily bring home Lott. Simmons heads into second base. The throw comes in there, but not before Simmons is in safely with a double. Ball wasn't hit hard. Williams was playing off the line, and Simmons hit it right over the bag. A ground ball that got through for a double, and two doubles here in the top of the second for Burnaby have produced a run, and now it's 3-1 Goldpanners. Brings up the right fielder, Jared Alleman. So Lott, or Newman rather, Newman and Simmons trade places. Simmons now down at second with one out. Drummond's first pitch is a fastball fouled off to the right. Goldpanners, as I said, wearing their camo jerseys. Burnaby wearing the same uniforms that they wore last night with the black tops and white letters. Simmons with a lead at second. Drummond comes home with a high fastball. And it's 1-1, or 2-1, I believe. I think the first pitch was a ball, but the scoreboard hasn't quite caught up. So 2-1 to Alleman. Drummond comes set. 2-1 pitch is grounded to the right side. Ratfield makes a nice play in the hole. Beats Alleman to the bag. There's two outs. Simmons goes to third. So ball was hit sharply, but Ratfield did a good job of getting over. Converted catcher. He played catcher and first base, like having Frankovich and Ratfield's bat in the lineup at the same time. So looks like the Goldpanners may be going to the pen already. I don't quite know, but it looks like someone's coming in here. So we're going to be back. The Goldpanners are making a pitching change. This could be a pitch count matter for Drummond because he's pitching effectively. So we're going to take a break. Goldpanners making a pitching change. Panners up 3-1 with two outs here on the top of the top of the second. We'll be right back. Goldpanners have gone to right-hander Andrew Trotman with two outs here in the bottom of the second inning. This will bring up Max Skinner, the second baseman. Trotman comes set. Could go from a windup, but pitches typically from the stretch. As he, primarily a reliever, makes a really nice first pitch on the outside corner to Skinner. Strike one. Simmons down at third with two out. Trotman throws again, and this one is a little outside, and it's 1-1. Trotman has pitched very well for the Goldpanners this year. Comes on here in a spot to keep the lead at 2. Throws a nice slow curve, and Skinner waves at it for strike 2. Trotman out in front. Natural grass here in Grand Forks, beautiful ballpark. Next pitch is grounded up the middle. Should be a easy play for Barango. Fields behind the bag, throws out Skinner at first, and Trotman comes on and gets the only batter he faces in the bottom, or the top of the second rather, and the Goldpanners have shut off any more of a rally from Burnaby. The score is 1. Leave a runner at third. We've completed an inning and a half, and the Goldpanners lead it 3-1. Getting ready to start the bottom half of the second inning for the Goldpanners. Goldpanners sent 8 players up in the first inning. So now in the bottom of the second, Panners will start with their 9-hitter Ty Barango, followed by Peters and Frankovich. Lozecki still on the mound for the Bulldogs. Throws a slow curve outside in the dirt, ball 1. Lights have started to come on here in the park, even though the sun is very bright and shining. I think maybe it takes a while for them to come on because we don't need them right now, but it's makes for a nice scene. Ball 2 to Barango outside. Next pitch way outside. It's ball 3. Barango, the Goldpanner shortstop, does a terrific job handling those very important defensive duties for any kind of baseball team. A defensive shortstop is a plus. If he can hit, it's a bonus. Barango takes ball 4, and the Goldpanners, as they did in the bottom of the first inning, have drawn a leadoff walk. So Barango heads down to first. He has a couple stolen bases on the summer so far. 3 doubles and a triple. Brings up Carl Peters, who walked and scored the Goldpanners' first run in the first inning. Barango takes his lead, pitches another slow curve that the Goldpanners have seen a lot of. Peters out in front of it, swings and misses, and it's strike 1. I would think the Goldpanners would be able to run on Lozecki. He's very, very, very slow deliveries. It'd be hard for a catcher to get a lot of his stuff and come out throwing quickly because it's just slow to the plate. Strike 1. There goes Barango. The pitch is taken for a ball, and easily Barango has second base stolen. It's strike 2 to Peters. Scoreboard doesn't have that right, but it's 0-2. So Barango now down at second base. Goldpanners have a runner in scoring position with nobody out here in the bottom of the second, leading 3-1. Next pitch is just outside. A nice pitch from Lozecki of 0-2, but just missed outside. Barango again at second base. Lozecki looks in at Simmons for the sign. Peters, see if he can at least get him over to third here. 1-2 pitch is in the dirt. Simmons does a nice job blocking that slow curve, and it's 2-2. Jackson Frankovich on deck. Goldpanners catcher was hit by a pitch, scored the Goldpanners' second run. 2-2 pitch now to Peters. There's a slow curve. It's grounded to the left side of the shorts. He's going to have a hard time throwing out Peters, and it's just not going to happen. That ball hit in the hole to the shortstop. Peters with very good speed. Barango didn't try to go third. It would have been an easier play for Van Gorkum to try to get him out at third base than to try and throw out Peters. So a base hit from Peters. Goldpanners have their third hit of the game. And as they did in the first inning, have the first two runners on with nobody out. Brings up catcher Jackson Frankovich. Don't know if the Goldpanners will ask him to bunt. Third baseman playing in on the grass like he might. Lezecki comes set. Goldpanners with some big leads, especially Peters at first. Pitch is way outside, ball one. The first baseman, Lott, is playing way behind Peters, so Carl has great speed as it is, and he's getting, a ground ball in the infield to try to get a force at second would be very tough to get Peters at second with as big a lead as he has with his speed. Ball one pitch to Frankovich. Lezecki checks second, throws back. Barango has to scramble to get back to second, but it's easily done. Count stays 1-0 on Frankovich. It just looks with the speed on the Goldpanners bases, Barango and Peters, as slow as Lezecki is at the plate, it just thinks like the Goldpanners will put some kind of stolen base on here. They don't run. The next pitch is way up and outside. Barango looked like it was going to. It's ball two. And the Goldpanners might be best to stay put because Lezecki is having some control issues from time to time, and sometimes you run into an out in an inning when you don't need to. 2-0. Nobody's going anywhere. The next pitch is hit a mile to the right side, but way foul. Frankovich way out in front of a changeup and hits it over the beer garden. Blue seats out in right field that are quite comical. It's a fan favorite here, especially in the evenings. They throw out the big boot when someone makes an error. It's quite a scene. 2-1 count now on Frankovich. Barango takes his lead. So does Peters. They're not going. The pitch is swung on and missed, and it's strike two. Another changeup. Frankovich just trying his best to stay back, as all the Goldpanners are, because they just haven't seen anyone throw this slow so far this summer. This is all about technique. This is all about sidearm. This is all about getting a hitter out in front. There's not going to be any fastballs thrown by anybody from Lezecki. 2-2 pitch, another changeup, and Frankovich way out in front, and he swings right through it for strike three. Panners have their first out here in the bottom of the second. Barango and Peters still on the bases. And it brings up the Goldpanners second baseman, Logan Redeman, who doubled in a run in the bottom of the first. Lezecki checks the runners. Nobody going. The pitch is inside, almost hits Redeman, ball one. Redeman, as we said, can pitch, but is being asked to play second base, mostly for the Goldpanners. 6'1", 170 infielder out of Palmdale, California. Barango bluffs at second. 1-0 pitch is skied in the air to short right center field. Redeman again out in front of that. Right fielder comes in and makes the catch. Barango fakes, but he's not going anywhere at second. And despite getting the first two runners on, the next two Panners have gotten out, so that'll leave it up to first baseman Donovan Ratfield as Redeman flies out to right. Big opportunity for the Panners. Let's see if they can cash in. Ratfield hit a sacrifice fly in the first inning to drive in the Goldpanners' third run. Runners go. The throw down to third is not in time, and it's a stolen base for both Peters and Barango. Panners got great jumps that time. I'm surprised they didn't try and run earlier. They just didn't get the look they wanted, but now with two outs, put two runners in scoring position. Strike one to Ratfield. Next pitch is outside, 1-1. Barango at third, Peters at second. 1-1 count to Ratfield. Next pitch is a slow curve that stays down, and it's ball 2. So 2 stolen bases this inning so far from Barango, 1 from Peters. Ratfield with a 2-1 count. Waits. Next pitch is outside, and it's ball 3. Goldpanners have Logan Drummond on deck. Even though Trotman came in to pitch for him, he's allowed to stay as a designated hitter. 3-1 to Ratfield. Next pitch is up high and outside, and Ratfield draws a base on balls. So the Panners have the bases loaded, can really extend their lead here in the bottom half of the second inning, leading 3-1. Drummond comes up. He singled his first time. Left-hand hitter against the right-hander Lezecki. First pitch is way outside, ball 1. On deck, newcomer Kobe Williams. Goldpanners third baseman. But let's see what Drummond can do here first with the bases loaded. Next pitch is way inside, and it hits Drummond, and the Goldpanners have another run. Just another slow curve from Lezecki. The first one was way outside, and the second one was way inside. Drummond didn't move, which he doesn't have to. And the Goldpanners have their 4th run on a hit batsman to Logan Drummond. So Peters moves up to third. Barango comes in and scores. That sends Ratfield down to second base. And up now is Kobe Williams. The first pitch is a slow curve that's down in the dirt, and it's ball 1. Williams hit a sac fly in the bottom of the first, which really wasn't much of a fly. I'd say it was a sac line drive to the left fielder. Next pitch is grounded up the middle. The shortstop's right there. Steps on the bag, forces Drummond there. And Williams is out in front and gets fisted a little bit on that pitch. But the Goldpanners do get another run, extend their lead back to 3. They do leave the bases loaded here. We've played 2 full innings, and the Goldpanners lead Burnaby 4-1. Quick turnaround here as we get ready to start the top of the 3rd inning. Number 9 hitter, designated hitter Ryan Derbaka is on to bat. Trotman still in for the Goldpanners. Throws the first pitch down at the knees for strike 1. Panners have left 5 runners on base so far. 2 in the first and the bases loaded in the second. They do lead 4-1. Next pitch to Derbaka. I think he's mad at himself. That one was just right down the middle. I think he was expecting the slider from Trotman, didn't get it. 0-2. Trotman comes set, throws again, and this one is hit down on the right-hand side, but it's foul up against the screen down the first base line. Derbaka just protecting the plate that time. Trotman stays out in front of him, 0-2. Trotman comes set. Frankovich gives him the sign. The curveball is, boy, that looked just missed the outside corner. That looked like Trotman may have caught the black right there, but the home plate umpire didn't give it to him, and it stays 1-2. Trotman did a little bit of a hop at the mound, thinking he may have got him. The next pitch is a slider that stays low, and it's 2-2. 9 teams in this tournament. Goldpanners playing for the first time on basically day 3 of the tournament. Next pitch is way outside, a slider, and it's full count. Got teams from the Coquitlam Angels, who have won 1 and lost 1. A team here from Grand Forks that lost their first game on Sunday night. Next pitch from Trotman is a slow roller out in front of the plate. Trotman fields with his glove, throws on to first. And the Goldpanners have gotten Ryan Derbaka out for number 1. He's way out in front of a slow curve from Trotman and just got the end of the bat and just a little bitty roller out in front of the mound. So Trotman throws him out for the first out here in the top of the 3rd. You've also got teams, quite a few as is normal from the Northwest, the Seattle Blackfins, Seattle Studs, Northwest Honkers, Everett Merchants. First pitch from Trotman is, I think, better than the 0-2 pitch he didn't get, but it's given to him for strike 1 against the leadoff hitter, shortstop, Jack Van Gorkum. If there's anything I have a good vantage point to see, it's the outside corner from where I'm sitting, which is about 40 feet behind home plate and about 10 feet to the right of the plate, so I can see it pretty good. 1-1 pitch is hit in the air to right center field. Peters comes on, but he's not going to be able to get to it. The ball wasn't hit that hard, just sort of a low liner in the right center. And the Burnaby Bulldogs have their 1-out base runner on here in the top of the 3rd as Van Gorkum singles. That'll bring up Lucas de Jong, the 3rd baseman, who was Drummond's first strikeout victim in the first inning. Drummond ended up striking out 3 before he left with 2 outs in the 2nd. First pitch from Trotman is a fastball up high, but de Jong likes it enough to swing through it. Strike 1. Not sure if Burnaby will try and run here, down 4-1 in the top half of the 3rd. Trotman comes to the plate, and it's a slow curve that de Jong waves at, and it's 0-2. Trotman's one of those pitchers you got to stay back to. Not as bad as Lazecki is. Trotman doesn't throw that hard. So he had de Jong way out in front of that. Next pitch 0-2, and it's right down the middle, strike 3. De Jong was looking for something else. Trotman challenged him with a fastball at the letters. And we've got the first strikeout for Trotman. It comes 2 out here in the top of the 3rd. Second time de Jong has gone down on strikes. That'll bring up the first baseman, Keegan Lott, left-hand hitter who struck out his first time. Trotman comes set at the belt, checks Van Gorkum, and throws a changeup that stays outside, and it's ball 1. Newman on deck for the Burnaby. He had one of the 2 doubles Burnaby hit in the top half of the 2nd inning. 1-0 count. Trotman comes set and swings. Lott swings at a fastball up high, goes right through it, and it's 1-1. Not much breeze going on here, a little bit blowing in from right field, but not really anything to bother a ball that's hit out there at all. So next pitch to Lott is swung through again, and it's 1-2. Trotman is doing a good job of baffling the Burnaby hitters right now, especially these big hitters, the number 3 hitter, Lott. 1-2 pitch is a changeup down and away, 2-2. Burnaby has 3 hits. Goldpanners have 3 hits, but more importantly, the Goldpanners lead at 4-1. 2 outs here in the top of the 3rd. Van Gorkum takes his lead from first. Pretty good sized lead. He's not going, though. Trotman's next pitch is right on the inside corner, and Lott knew it. And the 2 and 3 hitters for Burnaby have both struck out. The last 2 struck out looking by Trotman, as he has a nice 3rd inning. 2 strikeouts, and that's just a little roller back to him besides the hit from Van Gorkum. So good Goldpanner pitching out of Trotman. Bulldogs don't score. We've completed 2.5. Goldpanners up top, 4-1. Ready to get started here in the bottom half of the third inning. Goldpanners will have left fielder Evan Scally, right fielder Eric Smelko, and shortstop Ty Barango. Bottom three of the order to see if they can add to this 4-1 lead. First pitch to Scally is taken for a strike. Next pitch is fouled back. 0-2. Pitch to Scally, a changeup, but he stays back and fouls it back. So Scally was on left at first base when Smelko ended the top half of the bottom half of the first inning when the Panners sent 8 men to the plate. Next pitch is a fastball that stays outside, and it's 1-2. Next pitch is way outside, and it's 2-2. Scally hit by a pitch in the first inning to load the bases. Next pitch is popped up on the left-hand side. The third baseman, DeJong, goes over, has room, and makes the catch. So Scally out in front a little bit. He's a big, powerful guy, and he's just itching to get out in front. But Lazecki, as slow as he throws, makes you learn to stay back, and he just couldn't on that one and popped out to the third baseman in foul territory. So first out here in the bottom of the third brings up the Goldpanners right fielder Eric Smelko, who grounded out to first his first time. Smelko takes the first pitch outside, ball 1. Barango on deck, scored the Goldpanners' 4th run in the second inning. 4-1 Goldpanners lead, bottom half of the third. Next pitch to Smelko, another changeup that's outside, 2-0. See if the Goldpanners can get started with a win here in this prestigious Grand Forks tourney. Next pitch is up high, and it's 3-0. Everett Merchants are here. As I mentioned, they won their first game yesterday. They have a day off today, and the Goldpanners will face them tomorrow. 3-0 pitch to Smelko is right down the middle, and it's strike 1. Calgary Diamondbacks are here as well, so 9 teams here in this tournament. Next pitch to Smelko is down low, ball 4. So the Goldpanners have another walk. They've drawn their share. There's been some hit batsmen, quite a few walks, some sac flies, so quite a few things to keep players from getting official at-bats, but it doesn't matter. They get those base runners on and need to keep bringing them home. Barango up now, walked and scored a run himself in the second inning. Smelko down at first. Let's see if the Goldpanners try to get the running game going. Smelko, not a big lead at all. Not going. The first pitch is on the outside corner to Barango, strike 1. Barango out of college of San Mateo, where he played for the Goldpanners' ex-assistant coach Riley Goulding, who helped out Miles Kaiser in 2017, or 2018 rather. 0-1 pitch is hit in the air a long way down the left field line. I don't know if that's going to stay fair, and it doesn't. It goes foul. Barango took a slow pitch on the inside corner and really got into it. Hit it foul, but boy, he really got into that one. Slender shortstop, but you wouldn't know it from that swing. He's headed to Coastal Carolina. Nice D1 program. It's a good compliment to the kind of career, or I guess you could say just season. He redshirted last year at San Mateo. Had a very nice season this year. 0-2 count. Smelko at first. Not going. The pitch is inside. That almost hits Barango as well. Goldpanners have had plenty of hit batsmen in this game. Almost had another one. Lazecki checks first. Smelko there. not going. The pitch to Barango is grounded sharply foul past third. So again, Barango out in front, hitting the ball sharply, staying back well, but just not enough. Lezecki will make you stay back. And if you don't, you're just going to strike out or hit just a lazy grounder or fly, because you're just going to see slower and slower pitches. Smelko not going. 1-2 pitch is a slow curve that Barango just gets a piece of. I didn't realize he did, but the umpire threw his hands in the air, foul ball, so just barely got a piece of that, Barango. 1-2. See if Smelko tries to go this time. Really surprised he hasn't so far. 1-2 count. Still not going. The pitch is way outside, and it's 2-2. Shortstop pulled up the middle in double play position for Burnaby. Third baseman hugs the line a little bit. Pretty big hole between third and short for Barango. There goes Smelko. The pitch is hit in the air to right center field, and that's going to get in the gap. Perfect hit and run from Barango and Smelko. This ball hops the fence, and I think that's going to force Smelko to go back to third. Oh, wow, that's a break for Burnaby, because Barango really drove that pitch well to right center field. Smelko, who would have scored easily, he was already 2/3 of the way home when the umpire told him to stop because you can't come home. So Barango with a sharp double to right center field. Goldpanners again have 2 runners in scoring position. Smelko at third, Barango at second. Brings us to the top of the order, and Carl Peters. Next pitch is hit in the air to left field. It's going to get Smelko home as the left fielder makes the catch. Barango will have to stay at second base. Peters jumps on the first pitch and hits it well, but right to the left fielder. Another sacrifice fly from the Goldpanners. That's 3 that have driven in their 5 runs. As Smelko comes hold. Second out. Barango still at second base. Brings up the catcher, Jackson Frankovich, who has been hit by a pitch and struck out. First pitch to Frankovich. Change-up that's waved at. Strike 1. Just not one of those kind of pitchers you see very often. Players like those fastballs that they can get on, and the change-up and the slow stuff just makes you just really have to be disciplined to stay back. Frankovich takes a change-up on the inside corner and lines it foul against the screen on the right-hand side. 0-2. Two out, runner at second base. Panners up 5-1. See if Frankovich can bring home another one. 0-2 pitches, grounded to the right side, and that's going to get into right field. Here comes Barango to the plate. Throw is late. Frankovich drives a single to the right side, and the Goldpanners now have a 6-1 lead as Frankovich did a good job staying back on that changeup again and singles sharply to right field. The second baseman tried to dive and hold it in the infield but couldn't do it. Barango comes home. Twice he scored. The Goldpanners now lead it 6-1 with 3 in the first, 2 in the second, or 1 in the second, and 2 more here in the third. Brings up second baseman Logan Redeman. Pitches a fastball on the inside corner, strike 1. Redeman so far has doubled to right center field and flied out to right. Next pitch is a changeup that stays outside. It's 1-1. Burnaby has nobody throwing in the bullpen. They're going to stay with Lezecki a little bit longer, even though he's already given up 6 runs here in 2 2/3. Frankovich takes his lead. Not going. Redeman takes a pitch and grounds it to the second baseman. Skinner throws on to second base to force Frankovich, and Burnaby gets out of it here in the bottom of the third, but not before the Goldpanners scored 2 runs on 2 hits. There were no Burnaby errors. Frankovich left on base. Goldpanners have completed 3 innings here against Burnaby, And they are leading it 6-1. Ready to get started here in the top half of the fourth inning. Mason Schmidt has come on for the Goldpanners in relief of Trotman to pitch the top half of the fourth inning. Schmidt is making his 5th appearance so far this season. He has, don't think he has a decision. He's pitched 9 2/3 innings, given up 6 runs. Last outing, he struck out a ton, so he's got 14 strikeouts, one of the team's leaders between him and Kittredge and Keaton Chase. Goldpanners looking to continue the strong pitching so far they've had in this game. Schmidt faces the first hitter, Logan Newman, who doubled to start the top half of the second for Burnaby, and he grounds a pitch foul toward the Burnaby dugout on the first base side. Newman, Viswanathan, and Simmons here in the top of the fourth. Schmidt's next pitch is a changeup that Newman tries to bunt his way on and fouls it back. I think he's doing the Goldpanners a favor if he's going to try and bunt his way on. He rocketed a double his first time up, so if a big guy like this center fielder wants to try and bunt with a 6-1 lead, I think we're okay with that. Schmidt's 0-2 pitch is in the dirt. 1-2. Looked like a changeup that he tried to get Newman out in front on. It's about 6:40 here in Grand Forks, 1 hour ahead of up there in Fairbanks. Next pitch is hit in the air to center field. Shouldn't be a problem for Peters as he goes back. Newman hit it pretty well, but it just gets in the air and just a lazy fly ball when you get right down to it. So 1 out here as Newman skies to center field, and that'll bring up Surya Viswanathan. Curveball from Schmidt is a very good one, and it's strike one. If he can get that curveball over pitch 1 to each hitter, that really puts him out in front. So most important thing a pitcher can give you is strike 1, and Schmidt throws in another nice curveball, and it's 0-2. Viswanathan kind of walks away from the plate. He struck out looking his first time, and Schmidt has thrown him 2 very good curveballs to start this at-bat. Next pitch is another curveball waved at, strike 3. So 3 breaking balls. Schmidt threw this one down and in, and he gets Viswanathan swinging. Second time he struck out. You've got the 2, 3, and 5 hitters for the Bulldogs who have each struck out twice in their 2 at-bats. Brings up the catcher, Simmons. Maybe I can catch his first name because he's not on the roster. 1-0 pitch from Schmidt is a changeup that's down, and it's 2-0. Panners leading 6-1, top of the fourth, here in the initial game of the 23 Grand Forks tournament for Fairbanks. Next pitch is a fastball that's just low, and it's ball 3. Simmons had one of the 2 doubles for the Bulldogs in the second inning to get their only run home. Next pitch is a fastball right on the inside corner, and it's 3-1. Simmons was stranded at third in that second inning when the Bulldogs were trying to get to 3-2, but couldn't do it. Still have just 1 run. Curveball from Schmidt is in the dirt, and the Goldpanners have given up a walk here with 2 out here in the top half of the fourth inning. Goldpanners have done a good job. Coming into the season, there was concern with some of the statistics that we were seeing about how well they would pitch, especially the walk-to-strikeout ratio, but it's 2-1. The Goldpanners are averaging over a strikeout an inning with almost 9 per game, because not every game goes 9 innings, so that's why that stat is the way it is, and 4.1 walks per game, so more than twice as many strikeouts as walks, which is a very good statistics to keep an eye on. So I hope I haven't just jinxed matters here as Schmidt starts Alleman off with ball 1. Simmons at first with 2 out, top of the fourth. Panners up by 5. Schmidt throws over to first. Simmons back easily. Schmidt, a freshman at University of San Diego. The Goldpanners have 4 players from that school. One is an incoming player, Logan Redeman. Next pitch is hit in the air to left field. Shouldn't be a problem for the Goldpanners Scally. He hauls it in, and Schmidt has a nice top of the fourth inning, just gives out a 2-out walk. And Burnaby goes down here in the top of the fourth inning, no runs. They strand a runner. We have completed 3.5, going to the bottom of the fourth. Goldpanners lead at 6-1. John Lorkie back with you from Grand Forks, British Columbia. Goldpanners taking on the Burnaby Bulldogs here. Bulldogs beat the Seattle Studs 3-0 last night in their first game of the tournament. Now the Goldpanners get a shot at them, and Panners leading it 6-1. The Studs have had 2 rough games here, getting beat 3-0 last night and then getting beat 11-3 just before this game. Game was 3-2 when we left the hotel, and next thing you know, it's a run rule, and the Studs were eliminated. It looked like they had a base runner home to score a run, but the umpire called him out, so that's how we got on the field a little bit quicker than we thought we would. Next pitch is a leadoff base hit down the right field line by Ratfield. He's had a 1-1 count. I just figured I'd talk through the first 2 pitches. So Ratfield starts things off here in the bottom half of the fourth inning with a really good job of hitting, because as I've talked about throughout the broadcast, the pitches from Lezecki, who's still on the mound, are just slow and slower. So Ratfield just very disciplined, just stayed back and hit a line drive over the first baseman's head. Now we have the DH, Logan Drummond, who takes the first pitch from Lezecki outside. So Ratfield has hit a sac fly, walked, and now singled, so he's having a good night. Drummond has singled and been hit by a pitch. Takes the second offering from Lezecki, and that stays outside, and it's 2-0. Kobe Williams on deck. He's hit a sac fly and grounded into a fielder's choice. Goldpanners with some new faces to replace some of the injured players. Losing some good ones in Robert Matei, Brandon Chung Ming, Jeffrey Ray. It's just been a summer of injuries for position players, but the Goldpanners found two good ones from Orange Coast College to fill the need. 3-0 pitch to Drummond is rifled up the middle. It could be a double play. The second for one. Throw on to first. Drummond beats the throw easily, but a really nice play from Skinner to keep that from going into right center field and almost turned it into a double play. So Drummond really hit it hard, but Skinner with a nice play. If that ball had stayed down, probably would have got through, but it came up and Skinner made a nice play. So Ratfield forced at second for the first out here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Drummond stays on at first on the fielder's choice, and that brings up Kobe Williams. Lezecki throws a slow curve that misses outside, ball one. Williams so far has hit a line drive for a sac fly to left his first time, and then hit into a fielder's choice with the bases loaded in the second inning. Drummond takes his lead. He's running. The pitch is outside. The throw down to second base is in time, and they have got Drummond. It was a one hopper to the second baseman, but the Drummond was thrown out. Thought he got a pretty good jump, but it was a really nice throw from the catcher, Simmons. So Drummond is thrown out, caught stealing. For the second out, Williams stays at the plate with a 2-0 count. Now it's 3-0. Another newcomer, Evan Scally, is on deck. 3-0 pitch to Williams is taken inside. It's 3-1. Nice off-speed pitch from Lezecki that just caught the corner. Goldpanners have scored in every inning, but they've got two out and nobody on here in the fourth. Next pitch is grounded to the first base and should be no trouble for Lott. Grabs it on one hop, beats Williams to the bag, and the Goldpanners are done here in the bottom half of the fourth inning. They do get a base runner in Ratfield to start the inning, but they can't make it pay off, so they go scoreless here. We've completed 4. Goldpanners still lead Burnaby 6-1. Right-hander Cole Phillip is on for the Goldpanners here as we start the top half of the 5th inning. Phillip, a big guy, 6'6", 235, out of Goleta, California, attends University of Colorado in Colorado Springs. Leads the Goldpanners in strikeouts with 17, throws the first pitch that bunt on by Max Skinner, the second baseman. Skinner has grounded out to shortstop his first time, so Phillip has pitched very well, has a 1-0 record. He's walked just one batter with 17 strikeouts. Gotta love that ratio. Next pitch is up and in to Skinner, but he goes after it, swings through it, and it's 0-2. Cole, a big cowboy who's really taken a liking to getting out with Trotman and some of the other players and fishing around the Fairbanks area. He's had a big smile on his face all summer long. 0-2 pitch is a fastball that stays up and in, and it's 1-2. You may have seen him doing the, I don't know what you call it, the jig or something, the happy boy or something out in front of the Goldpanners dugout during the Midnight Sun game. He was having a ball. 1-2 pitch is a fastball, swung through, strike 3. So Phillip starts off the top half of the 5th inning with a strikeout. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7th strikeout for Goldpanner pitching. They've given up just one walk. Skinner strikes out for the first time. That brings us to Ryan Derbaka, the number 9 hitter, here with one out in the 5th. Takes the first pitch right down the middle from Phillip. Williams at third, Barango at short, Redderman at second, Ratfield at first on the Goldpanners infield. The next pitch is hit in the air down the right field line, and that's going to get down for extra bases. Derbaka is a big guy. He should be able to get into second base at least as throw comes in from Smelko. Leadoff double. Just went with that pitch on the outside corner. Phillip was trying to sneak a fastball by him on away, but Derbaka did a good job of rifling it down the right field line. The Bulldogs have 4 hits, and 3 of them have been doubles. Now 1 out here in the 5th. Panners hang on to I guess you can't say hanging on, have a 5-run lead here in the 5th inning. Looking to keep it that way. We're back to the top of the order with Jack Van Gorman. Bulldog shortstop tries to hold up on the first pitch from Phillip and can't, and it's strike 1. And Gorman is grounded out to third and singled in the 3rd. Phillip looks in at Frankovich for the sign. Checks Derbaka at second. Throws a pitch. It's grounded to down first base line, but it's foul. Ratfield goes over, but it was foul by quite a bit. Looked like when it left the back from this angle, it might have a chance to get fair like Derbaka's ball, but no chance. So Phillip quickly out in front of Van Gorkum, 0-2. Derbaka leads from second. The next pitch is grounded to shortstop. Barango fields cleanly. Throws on to Ratfield at first. Van Gorkum out for second out. This is the first time the Goldpanners have played on a natural surface so far this summer, having spent the first 3 weeks or so in Fairbanks. So a little different look, but Barango has no trouble with that one. Second time that Van Gorkum is grounded out, so now we've got 2 out here in the 5th. And that brings us to third baseman Lucas DeYoung, who has struck out twice. Phillip comes set, checks the runner who's not going anywhere. Throws to Frankovich and a fastball, and it's grounded up the middle, and Phillip makes a terrific play as he has to stretch behind him to catch it. The ball was hit behind him, but he just threw his glove behind and made a terrific play. He's pretty excited. Points down to the bullpen like, how do you like that? So just a great play from Phillip. Barango probably would have got it anyway, but why bother when you could field it? So last out here in the top half of the 5th inning, Phillip surrenders a double but gets 3 others to get out, and we have completed 4 and a half rather. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Goldpanners still lead it 6-1. Ready to get started here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Goldpanners, as we said, leading at 6-1. Evan Scally, the Goldpanners left fielder, new left fielder, up here at the bat. He was leading off the third. He popped out to the third baseman in foul territory, also hit by a pitch in the first inning. So looking for his first hit as a Goldpanner. Grounds the first pitch foul over by the Bulldogs dugout. Next pitch is hit in the air long ways to right field, but Scally way out in front of it. Pulls that foul, and it's 0-2. Just not going to see that fastball. Lozecki's still out there. He's doing a lot to save the Bulldogs pitching for future games because they don't have anybody throwing in the bullpen. And I think they're going to ride him the rest of this way no matter what it takes to save the pitching for later because the Goldpanners are taking just the opposite approach, getting mostly 1 innings from most of their pitchers. It's just to give them a little bit of experience here in British Columbia. Scally out in front of the next pitch. It was a changeup, and he strikes out as we start the bottom half of the 5th inning. That is the too many Goldpanners. Just the second time that a Goldpanner has struck out against Lozecki. You just need to stay back. Another one was back in the 2nd inning. Smelko on now. He's grounded out to first and walked. Takes the first pitch for a strike. Scored a run in the 3rd. See if Smelko can get things started here. He'll be followed by Ty Barango, who's had a very productive day. Next pitch, Smelko out in front. Fouls it back. It's 0-2. Disciplined approach required to face Lozecki. Disciplined approach required for me to talk right, I think. 1-2 now to Smelko. I guess when I do this about once a year, I can't be too hard on myself. Just trying to fill in my best for Garrow. Next pitch is outside. 2-2 now to Smelko. It's going to come to the Goldpanners in 2020 from St. Mary's. Transferred school. Just kept an eye on him. Saw he had a good summer last year. Now he's at Cal State Dominguez Hills. Smelko drives the next pitch over the third baseman's head down the left field line. Takes the turn at first and will easily get into second base with a stand-up double. And the Goldpanners have a 1-out base runner in scoring position here in the bottom of the 5th. So good job of hitting that time by Smelko. As I was saying, I sort of kept my eye on him. I think he was in the Northwest League last year, or Pioneer League, I think it was, along with Ty Stone, the Goldpanners' first baseman. And texted him, called him, and said, how would you like to finally follow through on that idea about coming to Alaska, because nobody came up and played in 20. Barango up there now. Smelko at second base with 1 out. First pitch to him is up inside and high, ball 1. Barango has scored twice, walked in the 2nd, doubled in the 3rd. Lozecki checks Smelko. Next pitch is hit in the air to center field. Center fielder Newman comes in, has no trouble with that, makes the catch, starts to throw and drops the ball, but still had the out. So Barango flies out easily to center field. There's 2 down. Goldpanners with a runner at second base. See if they can get him in. That brings us to the top of the order and Carl Peters. Peters having a good day. Walked in the 1st, scored, singled, stole a base in the 2nd, hit a sac fly in the 3rd inning. So Carl having a really good day. Goldpanner center fielder out of the same school as Barango. First pitch is a very slow curve outside, ball 1. Smelko with good speed at second. 2 out there. Panners looking to bring home another run here in the bottom of the 5th, leading by 5. Lozecki checks the runner. 1-0 pitch is inside to Peters, ball 2. Frankovich on deck. Beautiful evening here in Grand Forks. 75 degrees, sunny, just gorgeous. 2-0 pitch is way up high, and it's 3-0. Open base at first, but I don't think that's the idea here to pitch around Peters to get to Frankovich. Frankovich, a left-handed hitter, he'd have an even easier time, I think, with Lozecki. 3-0 pitch is right down there, but Peters goes after it and hits a lazy fly to center field. Newman comes in on that one and makes the catch. And even though Peters has a nice 3-0 swing, he's out in front a little bit and flies out to center field. So the Goldpanners don't score for the second inning in a row. Peters flies out to center. They do get a one-out double, but Strand Smelko at second. We've completed 5. Goldpanners still lead it 6-1. Goldpanners go to the bullpen once again here to start the top half of the 6th inning. Ryan Kittredge, who typically follows Cole Phillip when he pitches. It seems that the two of them have had a lot of games where Kittredge has followed Phillip. And like Phillip, Kittredge has a very good walk-strikeout ratio, 3 walks, 15 strikeouts. Kittredge is having a very good summer, freshman out of Cal Baptist, who's been a really good workhorse for the Goldpanners. Kittredge is one of the 4 players on the team with 2 wins. Also has a save. Just done a very good job. Has a terrific slider. That's sort of his out pitch, as he really has good command of it. So let's see if he can get that working here this evening here in Grand Forks. Panners up 6-1, top half of the 6th inning. Kittredge will face first baseman Keegan Lott to start the 6th inning and starts him with a strike. Lott has struck out twice to end the 1st and 3rd innings. Here he starts off the 6th. Kittredge winds and delivers a changeup that catches the inside corner, and it's strike 2, a very nice pitch. That had Lott shaking his head. So normally a big hitter would like a ball in the inside corner, but it sort of started off inside and then broke across the plate. 0-2 is a curveball that's lined foul, so Lott way out in front of that. Harmless line drive, stays 0-2. Logan Newman, the Bulldogs center fielder, on deck. Panners hold a commanding 5-run lead. Kittredge delivers again, and that is swung on and missed, strike 3. It looked like a changeup that Kittredge kept down, and Lott was way out in front. 3rd time he struck out, having a rough day. That'll bring us to the cleanup hitter, Logan Newman, who has doubled, scored the Bulldogs' only run in the 2nd, flew out to center in the 4th. Kittredge faces his 2nd hitter with 1 out in the 6th inning. Starts him off with a curveball for strike 1. Kittredge looks very good. It's just a few pitches so far, but he really looks in command. Newman, a big guy, hits from the left-hand side. Next pitch is a slow curve, swung on and missed. It's 0-2. Kittredge really has Newman guessing right now. 0-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike three. It looked like another slider that Newman was out in front of, and Kittredge has had no trouble striking out the first two Bulldogs here in the 6th inning. 9 strikeouts for Goldpanner pitchers so far. I believe just 1 walk. First pitch is at the knees on the outside corner to Surya Viswanathan. He struck out twice as well. 0-1 count. Kittredge looking very sharp. Winds and delivers again. Fastball up high, but it catches the letters, and it's 0-2. It got a bark out of the Bulldogs dugout. They didn't think that caught the zone. But when you're around the plate and you look like you're in command and the way you're pitching, you're going to get those pitches, and that's what happened right there. Kittredge looking very good. 0-2 pitch to Viswanathan is swung on and missed. A changeup, strike three. Kittredge with a remarkable inning with 3 strikeouts, all swinging. And the Bulldogs go 1-2-3 in a very quick top half of the 6th inning. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Goldpanners still lead it 6-1. Ready to start things here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Right fielder Jared Alleman comes in to do the pitching. So Lazecki is done. After 5 innings, try and catch who the Bulldogs have in right field to replace Alleman, but we won't worry about that right now as the Goldpanners try to get things started here in the bottom of the 6th with the number 2 hitter, catcher Jackson Frankovich. First pitch is a changeup. Goldpanners have seen enough of those today. Alleman. 1-0 to Frankovich. Pitch is a fastball that stays just high, and it's 2-0. 2-0 count. Let's see if the Goldpanners can add to their lead. They're up 5. This 2-0 pitch is way up high, and it gets away from the catcher, and it's 3-0. Frankovich so far has been hit by a pitch, struck out and singled, so he's 1 for 2. Looking to get things started here. Ground ball to the right side. The first baseman struggles with it. See if Frankovich can beat the pitcher to the bag. I don't think so. Alleman beats him over there, and it's out number 1. So Frankovich goes after a 3-0 pitch and grounds it to the first baseman for out number 1. Brings up Logan Redeman. Alleman starts him off with a changeup that's down and in, ball 1. Redeman 1 for 3, doubled in the first inning, has flown out and hit into a fielder's choice as other times. Next pitch catches the outside corner, strike 1, 1-1. Donovan Ratfield on deck. He's having a nice day as well. Curveball catches the outside corner, 1-2. Redeman in a hole, 1-2. The next pitch, Alleman working very quickly, is a changeup that skips up to home plate, and it's ball 2. One out, bottom of the 6th. Goldpanners leading it 6-1, trying to add on. 2-2 pitch to Redeman is outside, ball 3. Full count pitch is outside, and Redeman draws a 1-out walk. So Alleman has gone to 3 balls on each of the first 2 hitters. Got Frankovich to ground out on a 3-0 pitch. Redeman takes a full count ball outside, and he starts off the Panners' bottom of the 6th with a 1-out walk. Brings up Ratfield. He's hit a sac fly, walked, and singled. Pitch is way outside. Good job by the catcher Simmons to get out there and get that one before it skips to the screen. Redeman couldn't go anywhere at first. 1-0 count on Ratfield. Out of Gonzaga. Next pitch is hounded fair down the left field line. Here comes Redeman toward third. He may be able to get home. The ball is kind of hung up in the left field corner. Redeman trying to make it home, and he's going to do it as Ratfield doubles down the left field line. Redeman scores, and the Goldpanners have a 7-1 lead now. So Ratfield having a nice day, has his 2nd straight hit just inside the third base bag. Redeman scores all the way from first. That'll bring up the Goldpanners DH starting pitcher, Logan Drummond. Ratfield is second with 1 out. Panners up 7-1. Drummond takes a fastball inside at the knees, ball 1. Wind not much of a factor. Breeze just slight. See the flags, the Canadian-American flags in right field. Next pitch to Drummond is grounded to the pitcher. He struggles with it, but he finally gets a hold of it. Throws on to first, and the first baseman drops it. I don't know if he thought that Ratfield might try to go to third, so he was getting all ready to throw him out, but it was a simple catch. So give that one a 1 to E3 as the first baseman just flat dropped it. So Coach Gonzalez and Coach Lashman talking about something at first base. They may try to get a runner for Drummond, as he's the DH. Looks like Alex Garcia is going to come out of the Goldpanners dugout and run for Drummond at first base. I don't think we've got any kind of injury or anything like that. Just want to try to get as many players into this initial game and I guess you could say get their feet wet here in Grand Forks. Drummond having no issues getting off the field. So that will bring up Kobe Williams, Goldpanners' new third baseman. 2 on and 1 out. Ratfield nearly got picked off at second base, but the shortstop dropped the throw. So the Bulldogs having a little trouble with balls thrown from their pitcher. They could have had an at there. Ratfield seemed a little undecided about how he wanted to go back into second base. He was kind of caught in the middle, and the shortstop dropped the ball. First pitch to Kobe Williams is taken for a strike. I think Williams wished he had that pitch back. That was right down the middle. He was looking for something else. A little adjustment now after Lazecki is gone for the Goldpanners to face a pitcher that's throwing a little different. Another ball hit down the left field line inside the bag. Williams has his first Goldpanner hit. Ratfield scores. Here comes Garcia. He's being waved around third. The throw is going to be late to home plate. fact, it doesn't even come in as both Ratfield and Garcia score. Williams has a double, and the Goldpanners have their third run of the inning and now lead it 9-1 here in the bottom of the sixth inning. Looked like another off-speed pitch, but Williams stayed back a little bit better on that one. Hit it just inside the bag. Garcia with a good job of running all the way from first to score on that. Goldpanners have 3 runs in the inning, as they did in the first. Lead it 9-1. Evan Scally now on deck, or now up at the plate for the Goldpanners. Their new left fielder, same school as Williams, Orange Coast Conference, Orange Coast Community College. First pitch is down low to Scally, ball 1. Next pitch is a good cut, fouled it straight back, 1-1. So Williams at second. First extra base hit for the Panners, first hit. Had a sac fly in the first inning. Drives in a couple more now. Pitch to Scally is outside. See if he can bring home another run. Goldpanners up 9-1 here, bottom of the sixth inning. Next pitch is swung on and missed, and it's 1-2, or 2-2 rather, I'm sorry. Scally so far has been hit by a pitch, popped out foul to the third baseman and struck out last inning. Next pitch is fouled at the plate and it stays 2-2. Neither one of the Bulldog pitchers has thrown with any velocity at all. The Goldpanners are having to stay back, not as much as on Alleman as they had to on Lasecki, but still quite a bit. Next pitch is hit in the air a mile to left center field. Left fielder goes back a long ways and makes a catch in left center field. Williams tags and goes to third. Scally hit it a long way, but it's just an out. But it does get Williams to third. So 2 out now in the bottom of the sixth inning. And that'll bring up the Goldpanners right fielder, Eric Smelko. Smelko doubled his last time up. Panners have another runner at third base. 2 out, bottom of the sixth, leading 9-1. First pitch to Smelko is inside. Seventh hitter of the inning is the Goldpanners now looking for their another hit. They've got 9 on the evening. Two-0 count on Smelko now. We got a balk called as a runner on third. Kobe Williams kind of bluffed coming down from third, and the home plate umpire saw something he didn't like out of Alleman. So a balk is called, and that gets Williams in from third. So the Goldpanners have another run, and now it's 10-1. Next pitch to Smelko is grounded just foul past first base. Nice 2-0 cut on that, and it's 2-1. Smelko 1 for 2, looking for another hit. Pitches a curveball, a slow curve down in the dirt, and it's 3-1. Barango on deck. Panners with a commanding lead, looking very good in their first game here in the tournament. Burnaby with a good game last night to get the studs, but the Panners are having no trouble with them. Again, another shot down the first base line. Smelko misses it. Staying fair, goes foul, and now we've got a full count. Alleman in relief of Lasecki. Throws to Smelko. A fastball that's hit in the air to left center field. Simmons and Newman go over. Looks like Simmons. Pitcher got in my way, but Simmons makes the catch in left center. So Smelko flies out for the third out here in the bottom half of the sixth inning, but the Goldpanners score 4 more runs on 2 hits. They don't leave anybody on base. The balk helped bring in the 4th one, so good inning for the Goldpanners. They score 4. We've completed 6 innings, and the Panners lead it 10-1. Once again, the Goldpanners have made a pitching change as we start the top half of the seventh here in Grand Forks. Ryan Latchman, tall, lanky right-hander, will come on and pitch for the Goldpanners, who have really stretched their lead out after jumping on top 3-0 in the first. Now have a 10-1 lead as we start the top half of the seventh inning. I think we may have a run rule if the Goldpanners can maintain a 7 or 8 run margin through the seventh. First pitch to Simmons, the Bulldogs catcher, is fouled off to the right-hand side. Alleman on deck. He went from right field to be the pitcher in the bottom of the sixth inning, and then the second baseman Skinner on after that. Latchman throws a fastball low, and it's 1-1. Latchman out of Hope International, where his father coaches there, pitching coach and the Goldpanners field manager this summer. Next pitch is a fastball outside, and it's 2-1. Latchman, as I said, 6'4", 180, right-hander out of San Juan Capistrano. Next pitch up and in, and it's 3-1. Panners have done a really good job today with the ball strikeout ratio. They've walked just one hitter. 3-1 is a high fastball that Simmons is just too tempting for him to lay off that letter high fastball. Swings right through it, and it's 3-2. Let's see if Latchman tries to challenge him up here again, because it didn't look like Simmons could get around on that one. Fastball at the ankles, but he gets the strikeout. Simmons didn't argue about it, but it was a little bit low, but the Goldpanners will take it. And Simmons is the fourth straight Bulldog to strike out. Gives the Panners 1, 3, 5, 6, 7, 11 strikeouts and 1 walk in the game. Terrific numbers. Brings up the pitcher, Alleman. Fastball is fouled off on the right-hand side. Latchman did a good job getting that in on his hands. Nothing Alleman could do, just fight it off. Next pitch is just grounded weakly to the left side. Third baseman comes in, but I don't know if he's going to have a play. Nice play from Williams, but Alleman beats it out. Just one of those, they call them ant killers or whatever. Nothing you can do really defensively about it. Latchman gave way to Williams, but neither one of them was going to be able to throw him out. Brings up the second baseman, Max Skinner. Base hit from the Bulldogs, their 5th hit of the night. They've had 3 doubles, and now their second single. Alleman with a lead at first. Latchman throws a fastball that just misses inside, ball 1. Number 8 hitter for the Bulldogs has grounded out and struck out. Latchman catches the outside corner with a fastball, and it's 1-1. Frankovich gives the sign. Latchman deals. Swung on and missed. A good fastball on the knees away, and Skinner went right through it. 1-2. Nice pitch from Ryan that time. Commanding 10-1 lead for the Goldpanners. Let's see if they can keep another run from scoring. Fastball swung through again. Nice fastball from Latchman on the outside corner, and Skinner swings through it. Second time he's struck out. And that brings us to the bottom of the order with Ryan Derbaka. He was the DH, so he must have gone in to play right field in the bottom of the 6th inning when Alleman took over for Lazecki. Thought we might see a pinch hitter here, but it must have been Derbaka that stayed in the game in right field. Takes the first pitch for a ball. 2 out, 1 on. Pitches a fastball on the outside corner, so Latchman doing a good job catching that outside corner. 1-1 count on Derbaka, who doubled in the 5th inning his last time up. Next pitch is a fastball hit in the air to right field, and it right at the right fielder Smelko. So Derbaka got good wood on it, but he lines out to right, and that's going to end it here as the Goldpanners have a 9-run lead in the top half of the 7th inning, so the Panners don't need to hit in the bottom of the 7th. So we've come to the end of the ball game. The Goldpanners beat the Bulldogs 10-1. The Panners with 10 runs on 9 hits. They made no errors. They left 7 runners on base. For the Bulldogs, they got just 1 run on 5 hits. They left 4 runners on base. So not quite sure who the scorekeeper here, because I'm not the official scorer. So sometimes when you have so many pitchers that just pitch an inning or so, first pitcher of the game for the Goldpanners, Drummond pitched an inning and 2/3. Trotman pitched an inning and 1/3, but everybody else just 1 run, just 1 inning rather. So Goldpanners get a big win here to start the tournament, 10-1. They will take on the Everett Merchants in tomorrow's game. That is a 4 o'clock start here in Grand Forks, 3 o'clock start Alaska time. In a tournament, you never know when and games are before you. You can be pushed back as this one was, so we'll just have to keep you posted on when this one starts here tomorrow. But the Goldpanners are always looking to have a good time against the Everett Merchants, a team that they tend to face at some point every summer. So nice win here, 10-1. We're going to send it back and let you do something else on YouTube if you want to look around. But anyway, the Goldpanners have wrapped things up here 10-1. John Lorky saying goodbye to you from Grand Forks. Hope you can tune in tomorrow when Garrow Von Dane should be here to take over once again when the Panners take on the Merchants. So thank you for listening in, and you all have a good evening. Bye-bye.